Hey there, I'm back for today's Facebook Live. This is Tina Lorenz. I'm your freelance copywriting mentor, mindset shifter, and transformational business coach. And I'm here today. I want to see you be brave. That's what I want to talk about today. And maybe you're hearing the song in your head right this minute. But I've been thinking about this because today was Purple Hair Day. and it's so funny. It makes me think about being brave or being bold because how many times I hear people say to me, I wish I were brave enough to do that, or I really like it, or why do you do that? Some people, but mostly people say, I really like that, I wish I could do that. And if I say, well, why don't you, or why can't you? Oftentimes it's because I'm just not brave enough, right? It's kind of a funny thing because I've never really thought about this as being brave, right? It's just something I wanted to do. It's a self-expression. It's something I just feel is part of my personality. It feels like me. And that's the other thing, is that I can do this and still have a business. I don't have to hide some of my what I like to do, or how I like to express creativity, or how I like to express who I am. And so to me, it's not a brave thing. It's maybe a bold thing, right? And so you can be bold also in your life and in your business. Now, not everybody likes me. I get comments. I had someone the other day tell me I was smiling too much when I did a Facebook Live. Sorry, not sorry, right? Because another person said, well, you seem cheerful. Well, I have my challenges just like any of you. It's that, but I intentionally use my mind and my spirit to raise that vibration, to raise the energy, and to keep myself in a place of forward momentum, and to keep myself in a place of reaching out and connecting and being able to serve. And so that takes a certain level of energy to do that. And I don't mean just physical energy, but really spiritual energy and psychological, emotional, mental energy, right? So today I'm not gonna be with you too long today because I already have a call scheduled with a group of people that are coming into my mentoring program, and they're getting a free, not free, but a bonus Zoom call today with me that I'm going to do in just a little while. But the other thing for me about, I had to be brave. What had to be brave about this was going into the salon to have it done, because for quite a while we couldn't do that. That was the first thing. But then when we opened, when things started reopening here in Arizona, I knew that my hairdresser, who owns the salon, was also going to be really cognizant of what we believe would be the best practices for staying safe and staying well and staying healthy. And so what I was able to arrange with her, thank you, Michelle, is to open the salon early. And so I've already been there this morning at 6 a.m. Well, it's still dark out. She opens the salon. It's only she and I there wearing our masks, and we do our thing. And I actually drive home with this purple goo on my hair, and I sit at home with it and rinse it at home and style it at home. And so I keep the time there as brief as possible, right? But I had to be brave to do that because I was kind of anxious. Honestly, I was kind of anxious about doing that. And so, but what I did, instead of saying, well, I can't, or I'm just going to live in fear, or whatever those things, I'm going to do the things that I believe in doing to stay safe and well. And I'm going to be proactive and see if I can make an arrangement to have this done in a way that works for me and works for my friend and the salon owner. And we did it, right? And you can make things happen because I believed it was possible. So this is the other thing about being brave and bold in your business, in your life, and whatever it is that you want to accomplish, that you have to start with the belief that you can. And so when you start saying, well, I can't because of this, or but what about, you're already triggering those old ways of thinking and old stories that you might be telling yourself, or really old programming in your brain that might have started happening from the time you're very young, to just believe a certain way. It's a belief, right? And so your beliefs can change. You get to own your beliefs. You get to own how you think and what your thoughts are. And this is what I call intentional thinking. And so you can choose to believe that it's not possible, or you can flip that coin over and you can choose to believe that it is possible, that anything is possible if your belief is that it is. See? And so when you become aware of thinking like that, when you become aware of the times where we stop ourselves and say, well, I can't do that because, or what if this, or I can't because of that, and just, we all have those moments. We must all think something like 70,000 thoughts a day. There's no possible way we can control every single thought, because there's so many that are automated, so many flying through there all the time that we're not even aware of. But the ones we are aware of, and I'll bet you have some right now if you think about that, that come to the top as kind of the thing you always tell yourself about a limiting belief, why things don't work out, why it's not possible for you, why something's too expensive, why, whatever it may be, that when you are aware of that and you start changing that to, I believe this is possible. I am finding a way. I love how I find my way through things. I always figure things out. I'm smart, and I'm saying this. You say this to yourself. I'm not saying it about myself right this minute. I'm saying this is what you say to yourself. And when you start saying those things to yourself, you start reprogramming. You start literally creating new neural pathways that are going to become more automatic as time goes on. It'll become your fallback position to how you're thinking. And so this is kind of a funny thing, because the more you do it, the more aware you become, the more aware you also become that you're not going to allow yourself to go down that path. Now, speaking of brave, that's why I'm standing here today. This is my mobile office. This thing's built on a heavy-duty Freightliner truck chassis. Think semi, when you see a semi on the freeway, right? That's the kind of chassis this is built on. It's 45 feet long. It's a 12-speed automatic Mercedes engine, 450 horsepower. I do all the driving. My husband's legally blind, and we have a little joke about that when sometimes people see us standing by it, and he might have his cane or his guide dog, and they'll look at us, they'll look back between us and say, so who drives it? Hello? That would be me. And another little funny fact, I have a commercial driver's license. Just so happens I have one. Because long ago we did promotional tours and mobile marketing, and I had to get it then because I drove specialty rigs. Funny story about that. I'll probably tell it on another day. But when we were freelancers, contractors, I wasn't doing anything to do with copywriting then, and we worked for some big, huge ad agencies, very well known international ad agencies, on tours like Got Milk and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and some things like that. And it required driving specialty rigs. They build them in lots of places, but where we went was to Kansas, St. Louis, Missouri, right around there. And so think Oscar Wienermobile, big giant Hershey Kiss, only something way bigger, right? That's where they build those kinds of vehicles. And so when we got the job, the contract, they said, the driver has to have a commercial driver's license, and this is how it works. Okay, cool. So when we showed up, it was like they looked at my husband, well, you're the driver, right? And it was like, no, that would be me, commercial driver's license. And they were shocked, absolutely shocked, that I was the driver. Now, this was before Ron was navigating with a cane and things, and we just kind of deflected. We just didn't tell him. Honestly, we just didn't tell him because of the limitation we knew they would expect from us. And instead, we surpassed that by just believing that we could do it, being brave, being bold, learning how to drive something like this, and that's what I do. That's the other thing I do. It's kind of a little joke in some ways, like, well, this marketing gig doesn't work out. I could always drive truck, right? So I don't expect that to happen, but it's good to know I have a fallback position. So, but I had to be brave. I had only driven a minivan. That was the biggest thing I'd ever driven when I started driving bigger rigs. And I've had some very big trucks, and I've had custom-built fifth wheels and other types of called medium-duty trucks that are sort of a slightly shrunken-down version of a Freightliner. But this is the big guy, this one. Has a 30,000, for those of you that are geek out on this stuff, has a 30,000 pound towing capacities, which means I can tow a huge box trailer if I want. That could be another office behind us if I wanted to. But I usually tow a 4-door Jeep Rubicon behind it. And I've made many trips cross country and back to see our granddaughters, go to Washington, D.C. This has been a very central part of events that I've done. I take it to events. It's been parked in the parking lot of places like the Hilton in Chicago and all kinds of places where we get permission to park it. And my previous one was even featured on some videos at a big event I went in Chicago. A lot of the marketers wanted to come out and have a tour of that mobile office, and so I had some fun videos and photos there. But all of that to say, being bold, being brave will lead to also being blessed. So what I'm going to encourage you to do today, whatever you're doing in life, whatever you want to do, if you're wanting to become a freelance copywriter, if you're wanting to find another way to have a business, if you're looking for a career change and you need to learn something, I highly recommend freelance copywriting because you can learn it pretty quickly and start making money at it. But to do any of these things, you have to be bold, you have to be brave, you will be blessed by doing that and thinking differently, and I encourage you to do just that. Now tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern, I am going to do a longer Facebook Live, which is the second part of a 3-part series I'm doing on the 3 essential components you need to be able to build a profitable freelance copywriting business, or even if you have your own product or program or coaching program and you need to be able to write effectively for it, or if you have someone in your on your team that you want them to learn how to be a freelance copywriter for you, then these trainings are very helpful to that. I did one on last Thursday. I did one on just what's a funnel? What is a marketing funnel? And what a marketing funnel is one of the most profitable niches within the niche of marketing for freelance copywriting, to be able to write for all the aspects of a marketing funnel and understand how it works. So I've already done part one. The next essential I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Here's a hint. Starts right there, right? And it's kind of what I'm talking about today in a smaller way. And then next Wednesday, I will do part 3, which is the third essential. And then next Thursday, I'm doing a free training. So if you're interested in attending that free training where I bring it all together and teach you how I teach my students to do this and how we create those $4,000 and $8,000 projects and how you start building that six-figure business, you might want to attend that free training. There's a small application for it, just to make sure it's a good fit for us to spend time together on this topic. But other than that, it's free. So that's what I got for you today. I hope you're having a marvelous Sunday. I'm going to go get ready for my students that I'm going to have a Zoom call for in just a little bit. I will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you again soon.